Today we are going to discuss about the Indian Contract Act, the essentials of valid contract. What is a contract? Contract is an agreement which has legal enforceability. Means there are two important contents for a contract. One is agreement and the second is legal enforceability. And when we discuss about the contract, we have to focus on section 2H, in which the definition of contract is given. Contract is an agreement which is enforceable by law. मतलब कॉन्ट्रैक्ट वो एग्रीमेंट है जिसमें कानूनी कार्रवाई यदि कोई पूरा नहीं करता है कॉन्ट्रैक्ट तो उसके खिलाफ कानूनी कार्रवाई की जा सकती है। तो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में पहली चीज है एग्रीमेंट और दूसरी चीज है लीगल एनफोर्सिएबिलिटी। आज हम कॉन्ट्रैक्ट के 9 इसेंशियल्स के बारे में बात करने वाले हैं। तो पहला इसेंशियल है ऑफर एंड एक्सेप्टेंस। ऑफर इज द प्रपोजल विच वन पर्सन गिव्स टू अनदर विथ अ डिजायर दैट द अदर पर्सन शुड एक्सेप्ट इट, एंड वंस द अदर पर्सन एक्सेप्ट्स इट, इट गिव्स राइज टू एन एग्रीमेंट। एंड व्हाट इज एग्रीमेंट देन? So agreement, when the offer is accepted, it is known as agreement. The second essential of valid contract is intention to create legal relationship. Second essential ही खास इसमें तय करता है कि ये agreement है या contract है, क्योंकि agreement social भी हो सकते हैं और legal भी हो सकते हैं, और यदि हम contract की बात करते हैं तो वो legal agreement ही contract होते हैं। तो जो सेकेंड एसेंशियल है वो है इंटेंशन टू क्रिएट अ लीगल रिलेशनशिप। तो दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि जब दो पार्टीज के बीच में एग्रीमेंट हो रहा है तो उन दोनों पार्टीज के बीच का इंटेंशन क्या है। यदि वो इंटेंशन लीगल रिलेशनशिप क्रिएट करने का है तो ही कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है, अदरवाइज इट इज नॉट अ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट। द थर्ड एसेंशियल ऑफ वैलिड कॉन्ट्रैक्ट इज कैपेसिटी ऑफ पार्टीज। See, we have to consider whenever you want to do anything, you see the capability or the eligibility of that. But if you want to seek admission somewhere, then you have to see the eligibility for that admission. In the same way, when you have to enter into a contract, तो उसमें भी parties की capacity देखी जाती है। तो parties की capacity में क्या देखा जाता है? तो first is the person should not be minor. Second, he should not be mentally or he should not be unsound minded, and the third is he should not be prohibited by law from contracting. मतलब वो व्यक्ति 18 साल से कम उम्र का नहीं चाहिए। दूसरी बात, वो मेंटली फिट रहना चाहिए, मतलब वो लॉजिकली या रैशनल डिसीजन लेने की स्थिति में हो। वैसे व्यक्ति को हम साउंड माइंड का कहते हैं, तो वो अनसाउंड माइंड का नहीं रहना चाहिए। तीसरा, कानून के द्वारा उसके ऊपर किसी प्रकार का कोई रिस्ट्रिक्शन ना लगा हो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट करने के लिए। तो दीज आर द 3 थिंग्स दैट वी सी इन कैपेसिटी ऑफ द पार्टीज टू कॉन्ट्रैक्ट। द नेक्स्ट एसेंशियल फॉर वैलिड कॉन्ट्रैक्ट इज कंसिडरेशन। कंसिडरेशन मीन्स when at the desire of the promisor, the promisee or any other person does something or abstains from doing something, has done something or abstained from doing something, or promises to do something or abstain from doing something, such act, abstinence or promise is known as consideration. सिंपल भाषा में ये कहते हैं कि कंसिडरेशन मतलब आप जब किसी के लिए कुछ करते हैं तो उसके बदले में जो आपको मिलने वाला है, दैट इज नोन एज कंसिडरेशन। Then the next essential of valid contract is free consent. Whenever you are giving the proposal to someone, if the other person accepts it easily, willingly, without any pressure, then it is said that the consent is free. तो यदि ये consent आप undue influence, coercion, misrepresentation, fraud या mistake से obtain करते हो तो consent free नहीं है। हम बाद में हर एक चैप्टर को डिटेल में डिस्कस करेंगे, तो यू विल कम टू नो व्हाट इज कोर्शन, व्हाट इज अनड्यू इन्फ्लुएंस, व्हाट इज मिसरिप्रेजेंटेशन, व्हाट इज फ्रॉड, एंड व्हेन इट इज मिस्टेक, यूनिलैटरल मिस्टेक, बायलैटरल मिस्टेक, व्हाट आर द इफेक्ट्स ऑफ दोज मिस्टेक्स, We will discuss later on. The next essential is that the agreement should not be declared to be void. Now, void agreement means what? Void agreement means an agreement which is void ab initio, null from the very beginning, unenforceable from the very beginning. So, void agreement and valid contract are two contradictory terms. यदि हम बोल रहे हैं कि we want to create a valid contract, then it cannot have void agreement. तो ऐसे कौन से agreements हैं जो void होते हैं? जैसे agreement with a minor is void, agreement with a person having no capacity to contract is void, agreement without consideration is void. So there are many situations where the agreement is void. So if you want to create a valid contract, the agreement should not be void. The next essential of valid contract is legality of object and consideration. The object and consideration, though they are two different things, but both should be lawful. Both should be such that they can be enforced by law. So when is the object and consideration said to be unlawful? If the agreement has such terms which are against the provisions of law, then the agreement is said to be unlawful. Sometimes the agreement itself is not unlawful, but if this agreement is fulfilled, then some collateral contract or some collateral event related to that contract will, related to that agreement will become unlawful. So in that situation also we say that the object and consideration is unlawful. Sometimes when you do something with an intent to hurt the person or destroy the property of a person, the object and consideration of such agreement is also said to be unlawful. In the same way, when someone decides to cheat someone, in that situation also the object or consideration is said to be unlawful. And the last situation when the object and consideration is said to be unlawful is when it is against public policy or it is immoral. Then the next essential of valid contract is certainty and possibility of performance. The terms of the contract should be such that they are certain of performance and it is possible to perform that. आप कभी कोई चीज खरीदने गए हो? Now suppose if you want to go somewhere, if you go to the railway station to take the ticket, and if you do not tell the station ticket vendor कि आपको कहाँ की टिकट लेना है, तो can he give you the ticket? No, though you are willing to give the money, but he can't give you the ticket. So certainty is essential, and the next thing is possibility of performance. And the next is possibility of performance. Now, if suppose I offer you rupees 5 crores and I ask you to go from here to moon walking, is it possible for performance? No. So, such cannot be a valid contract. And the last essential of valid contract is legal formalities. In some situations, the contract needs some legal formality. Each and every contract does not require legal formalities. Like if suppose you go to purchase a pen or a register, you don't have to do any legal formalities. But if you are purchasing a SIM card, if you want to take a gas connection, if you are taking a vehicle, then there are some legal formalities which you have to complete. And without the completion of these legal formalities, valid contract cannot arise. So these are the 9 essentials of valid contract. We will discuss these essentials in details later on. Thank you.